So people keep wondering what's the new Star Wars movie is going to be about. Well, looks like the rumors might be true that episodes 10, 11, and 12 will be what Kinberg is going to be doing. Is that a good move, a bad move? What does Star Wars need? I'll tell you what it didn't need. It didn't need to lose to Obsession on Wednesday in the box office. That's not a good sign. Will that carry over into the weekend? It's possible. We're talking box office, talking about big numbers. Toy Story 5 might be a massive number. We'll see if it's going to be one of the biggest breaking box office numbers for an animated film. We will see. And speaking of breaking numbers, can Winston break the record this week? And can he become the number one spot? He's going to have some competition. I already know who's in the lead, I think, anyway. But we shall see. Let's get into it, everybody. It's the Kristian Harloff Show here today on Friday. All right. Sounds good to me. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. Joining me today on the show, what's up, Winston? How you doing? Oh, hold on. Let me ask you again. Hey, what's up, Winston? How you doing?
I'm good. What up? I'm doing quite mighty fine, man. It is my fiance's birthday today.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really good.
Yeah. So I let her sleep in, which is also going to be interesting because then it means that I'm not going to wake her up to say happy birthday. So I don't know if that was the right or the wrong move. You know how sometimes like you do something she's either going to love it or she's going to hate this.
You never really know. But I'll tell you what I do love. I love the Knicks. How about that?
Hey, man, dude, please tell me you've seen the video of all the Knicks fans, or they're just cutting to him left, right. Hey, if we were in the finals, we're gonna burn this city to the ground. Hey, yo, y'all, we send you back to France, bitch. I don't speak no French. Oui, motherfucker. Like that's just been going on.
You know, I went to the Mets game the other day. I'm, Yankee guy, but I go with my friends once a year because we go and nobody really watches the game because they stink so bad. But
do they do a Subway Series every year?
Yeah, they do Subway Series for sure, but that's not. They played the. I don't even remember they played the Reds. I don't remember who they played.
Oh, okay.
But I went and my favorite part of the entire Mets game was the $10 Knicks shirt that I got. It was my favorite part of the whole game.
$10,
$10, and it's a good shirt. So,
bro, make awesome money. I hope, bro. I'll be honest with you. If of the teams that are left, I'm pulling for the Knicks just from the standpoint of like what has been the 70s.
And 72, 73 was the last time they won. And the ironic thing is the last time that they played in the finals was 99 against the Spurs.
Oh, dude. Then do you want revenge or do you want the Thunder?
I think the Spurs will be, I think the better match for the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
They're both great teams though. So I don't know, but I thought the rest did them damage last time, but didn't seem like it. I mean, it seemed like it for the first three quarters and then they came back and they were on fire. So hopefully they're pretty well rested. But you know who needs a rest, Winston?
Who?
Star Wars.
Well,
what a disaster this has been.
Yeah, I saw Mandalorian and Grogu, man, and like the only thing that I disagreed with you on, I actually liked the 808s that came in because of the planet that it was on. It like gave the feel of like, oh, you're kind of in like an urban city type whatever. But
the music, you mean?
The
music?
Yeah, you had said at one point you didn't like the 808s coming in during one of the songs.
Oh, I know. Most of the music just seemed jarring. It just didn't seem like Star Wars music to me. It wasn't that I didn't like the music itself, but it seemed science fiction-y. It just didn't seem Star Wars.
Yeah. And so that didn't bother me, but everything else you said about the character development and the lack thereof and all that, I was like, oh boy.
Boring, right? Just boring.
It was that, yes, it was. And like that was the thing is that similar to Mario Galaxy, did I enjoy myself? Sure. Like I had a good time with like the fight sequences and stuff like that. I agree with you. I didn't like watching the 3 slugs fight. That was weird. But the character development was just not there. I learned nothing about Mando, and honestly, I learned nothing about Grogu because we saw from the beginning of the movie.
Grogu Gaga, and he's flying around all day. But their strategy didn't work. It clearly didn't work. What they were trying, and I thought it could work. I will say that. Meaning that they were just going to go after really kids and casual fans on this one. The casual fans and the kids, they're just not caring. And we'll talk about that a little bit more because look, Obsession's coming out on digital next week, by the way. Now Luke was like, I think that's a mistake. I don't know if it is.
They got out of it what they were planning on getting out of it. I don't think it's the type of movie
I don't know if that's true either. Dude,
they think that it still could do hella gangbusters.
It was the #1 movie, or it made a ton of movie the first week that it came out, and then it did something unprecedented. Yeah. It made more the second week than it did the first week. That never happens. Sometimes you're like, oh, 15-20% drop. That's amazing. That never happens. It made more money the second week. It never happens. So the fact that yes, you can make the argument, well, now it's going on digital, people won't see it in the theater. I don't think that's true. I think people will still want to see this thing in the theater. People are raving about this movie. I'm waiting on Tuesday. I'm gonna watch it on the channel, probably with either Sam or Ming, whoever's available, because I haven't seen it yet, but I'll be watching it for sure. I'm actually really looking forward to it from everything that people are talking about.
Yeah.
But it also shows that where we are today in filmmaking, and I keep saying it, and it's why I'm so hyped up to finally launch this motherfucking campaign that I'm working on, because the audience has told the studios, this is what we want. Look at the success with Markiplier, this guy, you got Backrooms coming up, Stuckman, you got all this stuff. And the audience is going, no, we get to choose. We get to choose, and we get to make it. And the rumored budget now on Mandalorian and Grogu, I think New York Times said like $300 million with everything in, with marketing and everything. It's about $3 million.
Oh, with marketing. Okay, that's not bad. So they'll clear.
Maybe. I thought worldwide in week 1 they needed at least 200 to get into a place. If they had a second week that was solid, then they could catch up. But this Wednesday number of Obsession taking over and winning, it doesn't necessarily mean Obsession will win this weekend, but there's a shot.
Yeah.
And that's bad news for Star Wars, because you've got more movies coming. You got He-Man coming up right around the corner. You got Scary Movie coming up right around the corner. You got Disclosure Day, which everyone's raving about now.
Oh,
they're in trouble, dude. Disclosure Day?
Because as of when I was last looking at it, I was like, what even is this movie? Like that type of scenario with people. Did this last trailer that dropped like a day or so ago change everything?
People saw it. Reactions have come out from critics, and it's been like they're saying it's the best Spielberg movie he's done in 20, 30 years.
Wow. I mean, the only pushback I'll give minor bit about that, and we'll see what happens, is like people were talking about how insanely good like West Side Story was, or how masterclass like The Fabelmans was. It just
this one tracking for $30 million. This one's still tracking for $30 to $40 million opening weekend. And it's different. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a hit. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make money, but it's going to do it. There's more excitement around it than Mandalorian and Grogu, which is
fair. Which is insane. It's insane. It's fair, but it's insane. Like because I will say this much: we've been talking about this now for years, since you said, like, right around when we started Capes and Cows, actually, because we FNAF came out, and so did the Blackening, and those are two examples of small IP things done on that minor level that like went gangbusters. And so this is a pattern, and it's not to say that there isn't a space for the big IPs. Of course there are. It's just, stop putting so much obsession, no pun intended, on trying to blow all that out. You can have that. You need to have the small stuff too, and let that be the type of thing that kind of keeps things flowing, you know.
That's the ironic thing though too, is in by all things, this Star Wars movie is a small Star Wars movie.
Technically, yes.
Technically it is. I was telling my brother about it this morning, and I was like, have you seen it in the theater? He's like, nah, I'm not going to. And he's like a diehard Star Wars fan. And I go,
that's crazy.
I said, 10 years ago, can you imagine if a Star Wars movie was coming out that you weren't going to see it in the theater? He's like, yeah, I can probably just. He's like, I pretty much know what it is. I'll just wait for it to come on Disney Plus. I have no interest in going to see that in the theater. And I think that that's what it's going to kind of carry into. It didn't work. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But I want to get into the stuff that they're going to start working on, that they hope they need to work now, because there's two arguments, right? The first argument is the one that we've been making already, which is the eyes are definitely going to be on Starfighter, because that's the stuff that's like a real movie, right? That's like a real movie. It's not a TV movie. It's a real movie.
It's like a movie that you go to the theater and you sit down and you eat and you watch a movie like a film.
If you sit down and watch that movie and say that feels like TV, that's a problem. A TV show that feels like a movie, you're like, okay. I mean, I don't understand why they did it, but okay. But there's two ways to look at this. One, that was the plan all along. You're gonna Starfighter is the one that's gonna carry the load. However, you still have caused now more damage to the brand than was there before. I still stick by the fact if it made 500 to 600 million, then okay, we made our money back. It is what it is. People were talking about it. They liked it for what it was. The fans who liked this stuff really, really dug it. We couldn't get everybody into the theater, but people really enjoyed it. That's not what's happened. People who are like there are a lot of people who enjoyed it, had fun with it, or whatever. But a lot of people are saying what you did. You're not a hardcore Star Wars fan. You're going
not anymore. I haven't been since college because I feel like things have just gone like this, and so it's just been. But I mean, the thing is, Kristian, when you have obviously Obsession, you got Backrooms coming out, but when you have movies like Is God Is and I Love Boosters, which again on the smaller end, and unfortunately probably won't hit the same kind of stride that Obsession did, but you're talking about quality of movie out there. I don't want to, like, even if they're unknowns, I don't want to go into a Mandalorian and Grogu and be moderately amused when I can literally come out actually feeling something, like whether it be excitement or anger or 100%. Whatever.
The problem, Winston, is this, and I keep using the example of like, Marvel. If Marvel would have done like a standalone spin-off adventure with two characters in like 2017, you go, okay, well, they've earned it. They're doing a side quest thing and they're going to do something. It doesn't really matter to anything, but the next movie will connect the Infinity Saga and everything will be back. Star Wars isn't in that place. They're not in the position. People are like, oh, it's okay to just have one. It really isn't, because this is the example and the reason why it's not okay, because the fact it did not satisfy and get everybody on board and people thinking it was a great movie. You further damage the brand. You have damaged the brand in a way that it's like, oh, well, now I don't even care as much anymore. The last thing that they put, because I'll look into it and I'll say the thing about Starfighter going, that's the thing that's going to further the lore and start new lore and all that. But someone who's a casual fan goes in and sees it, and all they see is a Star Wars movie. And they go, they think it all, oh, I think it ties together. I don't know. I didn't even see that last one. I don't care. And it's like, you just have made it less magical and less important from every movie you put out. They've got to change their strategy. They have to, because I think by going after, and everyone's, oh, it's a family brand. It's a kid's brand. Clearly not, because kids will go and see movies, see Mario Galaxy, see what we're going to talk about with Toy Story, see Minecraft, see these things. Kids will go and see movies if it's directed at them and they really feel like it's something they're interested in. The interest is not there in Star Wars for children in the way that Lucasfilm thinks it is. Fortunate or unfortunate, it's with people who grew up with it. They still want it to be good, in the same way that like He-Man's coming out. The majority of people who are really excited about He-Man were the kids who grew up in the 80s. That really want to see it.
It's you wanting to. I mean, it doesn't sound like your kids would want to go. Maybe they do, but it would be you wanting to take your kids
to see it.
Yeah,
my daughter. You know what my 8-year-old, almost 9-year-old wants to see? Toy Story. She's dying to see Toy Story because she wants to see the battle between the technology and the toys. That's what she wants to see.
That's amazing. That she's specific. I thought she'd just be excited because she knows Toy Story.
She wants to see,
legit wants to see tech versus toys. That's amazing.
Between the toys and the technology. That's what she wants to see. She told me yesterday.
I mean, she is a little mob boss. That makes sense. They out here destroying my toys. I don't like that.
Or the other, she might be fighting for the machines. I don't know.
Wait, she's on the side of Skynet? Wait a minute.
Maybe so. But either way, it's like, so you got to change what you're going for. And there's a reason why critically and or resonated. That ain't resonating with 8-year-olds. The reason it resonated with so many people is because it was well written. It felt like an HBO Max show. Now, I can understand. I don't agree with it, but I can understand the assessment. People going, I found it dull. I found it boring. I couldn't invest in it, because they have a different idea of Star Wars. But imagine that formula and sauce for Andor in something like Kenobi, with lightsabers, with everything else, with good dialogue, a good story, and a focus on characters that furthered it. That wasn't there for any of this other stuff.
Dude, all I know is in order to get ready for Mando and Grogu, because I realized I hadn't seen it in so long, I was like, all right, let me try and speed watch as much as I can. And to that point, I only got through the first 3 episodes. But the first 3 episodes, just by themselves, the amount of thing, I know it's a brand new thing, but the amount of information I learned, the thrills that I had one way or the other, like that was so succinct and felt like it had a voice, whereas what we got felt like somebody who, you know, clearly was there when it started, but just doesn't have the same hunger. We talk about that sometimes with like musicians or with athletes, that the hunger doesn't feel there as much anymore. I didn't feel the hunger of, I have to tell the story about these characters and what's going on with them when I was watching it. I wouldn't even say that it was like a longer version of TV, because TV also has progression of where somebody is going. This just felt like, here's a random side quest, and that's about it.
There were filler episodes, and if it was, and I think Campia said it, like if it was like part of season 4, and it led to more episodes down the line, you're like, oh, it's going to do very well in Disney Plus. It's going to do very well in Disney Plus. But but is that where, when you think about what Star Wars was and now what Star Wars is, it's an issue. So they got to try to get it back on track. Now, the bigger rumor now is this one. So Star Wars 10, episode 10 in the works, as details of new trilogy reportedly are revealed. Okay, let's see what this is all about. This is by Adele Anchorage Range over at MovieWeb. The Star Wars universe is in the midst of a massive expansion, with Lucasfilm pivoting away from an exclusively streaming-heavy era to usher an ambitious new slate of theatrical releases, promising even more screen adventures with new characters and possibly some returning favorites. Audiences were first introduced to the Galaxy Far, Far Away in 1977. Created by Lucas, opened in theaters, was a runaway success, yada, yada, yada. Then 19, The Rise of Skywalker brought narrative closure as it resolved the overarching story, but somehow it could return. Episode 9 culminates in a final confrontation between Rey and Palpatine, in which she defeats the Sith Lord once and for all. Her story seemingly ended there. However, Ridley is set to reprise her role as Rey in at least one more film. Originally announced at Star Wars Celebration, the movie often referred to as Star Wars New Jedi Order, with Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy attached to direct, will seemingly focus on Rey attempting to build a new Jedi Order 15 years after the rise of Skywalker. Its release date is currently unknown. I'll tell you when. Never. That movie's never going to happen. As Disney removed the title from its upcoming theatrical schedule following several setbacks, while this project is not officially part of the Skywalker saga, Ridley's character may be returning for episode 10. That's way more likely. Kinberg developing a new Star Wars film trilogy, but there have been conflicting reports about the focus of the 3-movie arc and how it will fit in the timeline. The latest intel, courtesy of GQ, indicates that Kinberg is actually working on a trio of films reportedly intended to function as 10 through 12 on the ongoing Skywalker saga. The article, mapping out the franchise's theatrical future, highlighted several logistical updates, including a deadline interview in which outgoing Lucasfilm executive Kathleen Kennedy revealed he had put together a comprehensive 70-page story treatment for the film. For one film or all 3? That's a question. Lucasfilm announced Kinberg's Star Wars trilogy in November of 2024, with initial trade reports positioning as at 10, 11, and 12. Subsequent updates have countered this, suggesting the films would be unconnected and feature fresh characters. However, rumors have persisted that Rey will appear in the movie, supporting the theory that the trilogy will continue the mainline episodic run of the films. The latest reports suggest that Kinberg is working on 10, though the claim is unsubstantiated at the present time. MovieWeb has reached out to Lucasfilm, no response. Plenty of reasons to be hopeful for the new trilogy, because he signed on for all 3 films. Commitment offsets heavy criticisms aimed at Star Wars, which showed JJ and Ryan go back and forth, yada, yada, yada. The trilogy will no doubt be a driving force in the future of the franchise. Okay, that's it. So there's really not a lot of information in there, except the idea that, we still don't know. Is Kinberg writing all of the scripts? Is he writing the treatment? Is he producing it? Is he directing it? Where does it land? That Rey movie is not going to happen if this is going to happen. I'll tell you that right now.
Rey who?
The other question is that the way to go? My brother said something interesting today. He said, I think that the way Star Wars can actually save themselves at this point is they have to do something controversial. And he goes, meaning they've got to either reset the timeline, recast people, do something that is going to make people go, wait, what? Like, whether it's recasting Luke, bringing back Luke, doing something completely different, going so far into the future that nobody's around, like something that is just, you just got to take a big swing. I just feel that this regime still it has their heels dug in and going, oh, we can get it back on track. And it's like the wheels are falling off, the oil is coming out of the car, there's no gas in the tank. It's like it's like a Mad Max car.
Yeah. There is a level of at one point where you have to, I'm praying because I can't afford it right now. But there's a point at which, like you said, the car analogy is great. You got to cut your losses and go. It's just time to get a new set of wheels. And I think with this in particular, especially when you kind of gave it a nice little button ending of whether or not you liked Rise of Skywalker, I didn't, but you wrapped it up. You truly wrapped. You killed the Emperor again.
Yeah.
You saw peace come to the galaxy. All of the main players have had their moment in the sun. They've all passed at this point. Like you've put the original trio to bed as well. It should be done. And I really feel like if you're going to involve Rey for any point, it should only be maybe the beginning of it to just set the tone of she set up a new Jedi Academy or something. And then other than that, I think you should just leave it be and move on to something new. I could see something where like you get to a Jedi Academy and maybe like it sounds weird to do any sort of flashback or whatever, but it just you want to show a little bit of how she set it up, cool. But I don't think you need to put the focus on her at all. You really need to.
Everybody signed her for $12 million, so she's going to show up.
And I get that, and good for her. Get paid. I would never hate on getting your bag. Right. Like good for Daisy Ridley, but I just think the thing that is holding Star Wars back is this idea that you have to hold on to this particular era. You've been screaming for a while for them to do Old Republic. I would love for them to do Old Republic. I think that would be good, but they're not gonna.
I know, I'm with you, but like the thing is, here's the business part of it that sucks. But I liked Lindelof's idea of going so far in the future and using like Helen. It's basically what you were saying. It's using like Helen Mirren as like old Rey, to where she just shows like all this, and then we're so far in the future, we're setting up everything. The problem is when you're gonna do a most likely $200 to $300 million movie, the first one, right? Whatever the episode 10 is, going to be about $300 million. Going to put a lot of beef into it to get it back. You don't have Luke, Leia, and Han anymore, and that was the little dangling carrot for episode 7. Was that dangling carrot to get people back in the theater, and it worked. With what most people talking about in that episode 7 trailer was Chewie, I'm home. Chewie, we're home. Mm-hmm. So you need the dangling carrot to get general audiences back in, because again, your point is well taken. And I wish that we were in a world that Star Wars was powerful enough still and magical enough still to say, hey, you know what? We're just in a Star Wars universe. No characters that are even near this thing. This is the Old Republic. In an ideal world, everyone's like, yeah, it's Star Wars. Let's go. It doesn't have that kind of magic anymore.
But see, while I agree, and I get just by the nature of even saying the name Star Wars, no matter what, like you're gonna invoke something. So it's not like you can.
You think so, but Mandalorian and Grogu would say no.
But the only reason I bring that up is just from the standpoint of there have both been Star Wars projects that are loosely associated, but not directly tied to some of the stuff that people have been clamoring about, and then B. So like I would much rather have a scenario where this really is a completely fresh whatever's going on, and then the end of the film they find like a Jedi holocron, and like Rey is 50, 60, but she's alive and she's somewhere. And so then it was like, it felt like it was, and your draw is something that's happening because you put a good ass movie together and then, oh my God, there was a connection versus.
Sure, but unfortunately you're talking in fantasy world because we already know that they're coming back and they're going to use these people to come back for sure. And Kinberg is going to be doing something that what has to happen though in the reality of it is it's got to be well written. The good news that I hear, little birds fly around sometimes, and if I go like this, I hear them. The good news is that Kinberg loves Andor and that he wants to do something like that. That's when I go like this, I hear that. And I don't know if he's going to be allowed to do stuff like that, but a 70-page treatment, if it's one movie, that should make you hopeful because that's really detailed. If it's 3 movies, that should make you hopeful because there's a plan.
Yeah.
It should make you hopeful that he's connected. what wouldn't make me hopeful, and no offense to him, because he's a good storyteller, if he was attached to direct these things, then I would be nervous. I think that they should go old school, and you can get 3 directors, and they had 3 directors last time, or almost did, with a plan, and let the directors be the hired guns with creative ideas, and don't get offended by this, anybody, in the way that Peyton Reed, Ryan Coogler were hired guns from Marvel who were asked to tell a story that they were passionate about in the brand that needed to connect to the Infinity Saga. They did it. Ryan Coogler did it. They both did it really well. Ryan Coogler did an extraordinary job of taking his creative vision, the things that he did, and stuck to the plan. So find 3 creative directors who will stick to the plan and not say, well, we don't like what that director did. I'm going to change it now. I'm going to do something else. No, stick to the plan.
You know what that reminds me of? Do you ever see do you watch like a lot of battle rap stuff or anything like that?
I've seen it.
So, like there are some rappers they'll almost do like improvised rap. So they'll be like, all right, give me 3 random words I have to throw into my freestyle or whatever, as far as that goes. That to me is what made the MCU function so well in a Coogler or a Peyton Reed type scenario. It was Kevin Feige going, all right, you need to include Claw, you need to mention an Infinity Stone, you need to, put this post-credit scene. The rest is your oyster. That's what it needs to be. Like you just said, is the same thing that you would see. That is, you need to have your key points and then let them cook, versus the idea of you can do whatever you want, no holds barred. And that's where you ended up in the trouble of JJ to oh my God, I forgot his name of it. Ryan Johnson back to JJ, and where
it wasn't back to JJ originally. Remember,
right?
It was Colin Trevorrow, who was ironically, the only director out of the 3 of them before he got fired that said, okay, well, what did JJ set up? I'll do this. What did Ryan put together? All right, I'll do that. All right, well, this is everything that they gave me, so this is what I have to do for the 3rd one. And then they said, no, you're fired. We're bringing JJ back. And JJ goes, well, screw that stupid script and screw what Ryan Johnson did. I'm going to do this. And it's a mess. So you've got to take whatever this format is, and you've got to implement it you've got to get the magic back. And the way you also get the magic back, because even if they bring back some of these characters from there's 2 things you can do with the original trilogy characters. There's a lot of people who don't like those characters. There's a lot of people who do. The very hard task you're gonna have is trying to get people who don't like those characters to like them. So you've got to do new things with them. That's part 1. The part 2 is creating new characters to take the weight off of those people, that you can have them as characters inside of it, and they can do things, but it's not relying and not necessarily following them the whole time. You can do new characters, create new characters, new villains, and for God's sakes, no more big thing planets or whatever that blow up other things. No more stormtroopers. No more. That happened already. You can't do it twice.
Side note.
3 times, rather.
Right. Side note, though, is it exciting that we have Simon Kinberg potentially writing all 3 films? Because I keep forgetting about this. The only, 2 good films I can think of that he wrote, it is what, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I thought that was well done.
He co-wrote Logan.
And okay, because they didn't.
Maybe produced Logan.
He produced it. Like I pulled up his Wikipedia to look at it.
Yeah.
So
PLD made a note that Kinberg and Filoni worked well together in Rebels. They did, but how well did they really work together? Because he was on season 1 and that was it.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this man.
He wrote the whole run. It was the whole run.
He wrote a lot of bad stuff. He wrote The Last Stand. He wrote Fan 4 Stick. He wrote Apocalypse. He wrote Dark Phoenix. He wrote the 355. Like, that doesn't get me excited. There's a lot of stuff that he's produced that I'm actually like, oh, yo, you crush. Like, he helped produce First Class. He helped, he did write Days of Future Past and helped to produce that as well. I'll give him that. But he produced Deadpool. So like there are things, he's produced Logan. So there are things as a producer, great. But as a writer, I'm like, I don't know if that makes me excited or at all.
You absolutely should be hesitant about, but look, he does love Star Wars. He does. And not only did he do Rebels with Filoni, I've talked about this before. He was working on a Boba Fett Tales of the Bounty Hunters movie a long time ago. And I had heard that from the birds. And then I asked him about it when I interviewed him and Filoni at 2014 Rebels come out, and he couldn't believe that I knew that. But he was very much so a big fan of that stuff. He's a fan. He's a fan of Star Wars, which is a good thing. That is the confidence that people should have. But everything you just said, everything is valid, and people could be very concerned about it. And apparently, PLD says he wrote the Twilight of the Apprentice, which is the Maul Ahsoka Vader finale, which is an excellent episode. And he also wrote the finale of the show, which was a really good episode. So,
but that's TV. Like, it's not just it's not just that it's animation. There's also something to be said specifically about TV versus movies. It's not to say that they are too drastically different. They share a lot of stuff, but they definitely move differently. TV is a writer's medium, where film is a director's medium and a producer's medium. So like, it's just, it still makes me nervous because you haven't given me a solid resume of movies that you've written that I've said, boom, you nailed it.
Right. No, it's true. But I just, for me, I'll tell you the reason why I would get more excited than you and other people is because I have been calling and hoping for a plan forever. And this at least looks like a plan. So if he has a plan, I'd rather go with the guy who has some Star Wars past, but he's got a plan. You know, if he's directing it, I'm going to be nervous. Mm-hmm. But if he's got a plan and he's going to produce it and he's going to put it together and they're going to recruit people, then you got a shot. But again, if this is Starfighter is still the movie that if that Starfighter doesn't work, people aren't going to give a shit about episode 10, 11, and 12. Mm-hmm. They're going to be grasping at straws to try to do stuff because it's like I will say that the two things is that, you know, some people have been talking about like, well, you know, yeah, I mean, maybe Starfighter is, you can keep saying Starfighter is going to be the one, but isn't this thing a disaster too? And initially it's for me, it's like, okay, if they make their money back, the goal was to say, hey, we don't want to spend money on a digital series anymore. We want to put it in the theater. We want to make our budget back. We want to make some money on it. Mm-hmm. And if that plan would have worked and they would have hit 500 to 600, then yes, I still stick by the fact that it would have been a win. But the fact that they will maybe break even, or make a little bit of money, they have further damaged the brand.
Yep.
The brand is damaged, even more so than it was a while ago, because it doesn't matter if you liked it. Doesn't matter if you had so much fun with it. Clearly, no one gives a shit. Mike just sent me a message and said, this is okay. So apparently this is from Luis Fernando, says, there's little hope left for Mandalorian and Grogu to catch up with Solo, as Mando now risks ending up in third place this weekend. Third place. That's crazy. At US
because of Backrooms and Obsession. Oh my God.
Grossing, that's right. Because of Solo, because of Obsession, because of Backrooms. Once again, even last year's Memorial Day releasing The Final Reckoning did better, despite facing family juggernaut Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, and this I've been saying very much. So Mando and Grogu, it's all about week 2, because week 1 you're going to have a big open, you're going to have a decent opening, and you know, but week 2 is it. If they come in third place, Filoni's going to be sweating. And don't give me this thing about, well, it was still lit under Kathleen Kennedy. He produced it. He wrote it.
He put himself in it.
He is put. How bad was that first cameo?
It didn't bother. Is it just at a bar with a hat, or did I miss another one?
Yeah, so close up. Who do you think you are, Kubrick?
It was. I saw it happen. I was like, "Oh, that was the part that Kristian hated." I was like, "Nah, whatever." It was dumb. It wasn't necessary, but it was.
The X-wing part I don't mind because they did that in the show, and a lot of the pilots.
Oh, I missed the X-wing one. I didn't even realize that was him.
But that's everybody. Every director that directed it, they got the shot. Here he is.
I saw it, and I was the only reason I even recognized it was him is both A, because you said something, and B, because of that hat. I saw the hat. I was like, oh, that's Filoni. Right.
Perfect. No, Peel, you're just critical of Simon Kinberg, not Star Wars. He said, yesterday I give Peel these shit because he won't criticize anything Star Wars. And he's like, I don't want him directed. Is that critical enough? No, criticizing Kinberg, not criticizing Star Wars. Anyway, so there's a lot going on here. We're going to dive a little bit more into those particular numbers, but what say you? Think this is a problem? Are they okay? Will they make their money back? With it coming in third place, are they even going to break even? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, before we move on, I want to tell you guys about our good friends over at WowCube. I've been telling you about WowCube all week. I'm going to tell you once again about WowCube. And then I got some more news to talk about. Here we go. Oh my God, guys, let me tell you about WowCube. This is awesome. Recently, I've been looking for something to do in between takes, something to just lock into for a minute and reset. This is the WowCube. You've got 24 interactive screens across 8 modules, and everything responds as you twist it, tilt it, move it. It's physical and digital at the same time, which makes it weirdly satisfying, like your brain has to catch up with your hands. I wasn't expecting it to be this smooth, to be honest with you, and I did not expect this to feel this futuristic. It's been pretty great for me to focus when I have like a really busy day. It's great. It kind of just resets my brain. You can play games, you can solve puzzles, or even use built-in tools like timers and a night lamp. It really encourages learning and discovery while you're using it. I was playing it with my 8-year-old, and she was better at it than I am. But I just love the way that looks. Look at the puzzle. And the design is awesome. It feels like really premium. It's the kind of thing that you just like leave on your desk and then people are going to pick it up. I've had guests in here and they just start automatically, what's this? And they start messing around with it. So come on, we got to do an interview. Engaging in repetitive 5-motor activities like this actually helps build dexterity and hand-eye coordination, and it really stimulates imagination and problem solving. It's one of those rare gadgets that boosts intellectual curiosity, enhances creativity and reasoning without even trying. If you're into design, tech, or something just different, this is a statement piece. So check it out. It's called the WowCube for a reason. I really dig this thing. I love it. I'm so glad that they sent it. I'm appreciative that they sent it. And there's so many different things. Shake it easy. You want to go back to the main menu? I mean, that's pretty great. Look at all these different designs. Anyway, check out the link in the description. You'll thank me for it. It's really cool. WowCube. Thanks to WowCube. Excited to have them on board. Make sure you check it out. Links in the description, or it should be. PLD help us. Okay. So, Winston, we got some stuff. Look, already you got like 35 questions, which is great.
Let's go, man.
The good news is you got 35 questions with some pretty decent, looks like donations there, and they know now that the person doesn't necessarily win with the most questions. They win monetarily. Last week, who won last week? Last week was Roka. Last week, Roka won. Steph's going to be hard to beat.
I was gonna say, the bad news that she got $1,000 donation or some crap.
Not $1,000, no. But she is. It was her last show yesterday. So
before she goes on the maternity.
Yeah,
leave.
when she comes back, she's going to be doing more reactions than live shows. So people would say goodbye. So, but still, you never know. Winston's come back before, so we're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Yeah.
All right, man.
Anyway, so we are now looking at to see we'll be answering the questions and all that in just a bit. The other thing that I came up with last night is that we're just going to make a heavier push on interviews soon. And we're working on it, and PLD's been working really hard on this guest list. And I have actually something I got to talk to him about because I had a good conversation yesterday with somebody. And then I was like, well, the Clips channel, there was kind of a mess. I got to maneuver things off of that Clips channel that we have now, and eventually, I'm hoping within the next 3 months, that Clips channel that we have will serve as the Kristian Harloff show Clips channel. We'll just have clips from this show on there. Now, it'll probably be dormant for like 3 months, but thanks to both Sam and MK, we have time codes right now so people can navigate and watch the stuff that they want, should they, if they can watch the whole show.
Nice.
Hopefully in like 3 months, we'll be able to put clips back there. But with interviews and other things, I need something quicker. And I was like, well, the WWE Vault really gave me an idea the other day. And because that channel just hit like 4 million, is one of my favorite channels on the internet. It's got all old school, like golden era wrestling stuff. It's got any era that you like.
Dude, I feel like I remember rewatching the Hell in a Cell, the 6-man Hell in a Cell. What
Yeah,
was
you
like
know
The
what? It's
Rock,
brilliant.
Triple H,
It's
like all that.
brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant channel. It's really, really good. I love it. It's really old school. It reminds me kind of like the old school WWE network or what it used to be. It's great. So I was looking at like, the Schmodown channel, which is the archive channel, which is kind of a mess. And it just has like all those old Schmoes interviews. It has or Schmoes reviews. It's got and mixed and matched. It's got old Schmodown matches and all over the place matches. And I was like, there needs to be more of a direction. And I think that what we're going to do is we're going to turn that channel that stands right now, that channel that will be the Kristian Harloff interviews clips channel. Then we were going to create two separate channels. It's going to be the Schmoes No Vault and the Schmodown Vault. And so both of those channels will have so Schmodown Vault will air maybe a match a day, and you'll start with season 1. So if you've never watched a Schmodown before and you want to watch it from the beginning, you can start from the beginning. When it starts, you start with it. You'll see the behind the scenes stuff that was on there. You'll see the interviews that were on there. You'll see all that stuff, and you can follow the Schmodown through its journey in the Schmodown Vault, and it'll be uploaded like that. People complain about, these matches are they're private now. It's like no one's watching that channel, except for a couple of hardcore fans, and they find it here and there. But you'll be able to watch it this particular way. Maybe some new design thumbnails and other things, so you'll be able to redesign it and take a look.
Cool.
Now the Schmoes know. People keep asking me about the reviews. We're going to re-upload reviews and starting from like back in the day. So you'll be able to see Mark and I, our W review with new thumbnails and other things. There'll be other things on there. Like people asked about like the best and worst series we used to do. That will be on there. Like the live show won't be on there, but the reviews and those things will be on there. And so if you want to go and you were an old school Schmoes No fan and you want more of an idea, you can subscribe over there. So there'll be a Schmoes No Vault, there'll be a Schmodown Vault, and that way you can just be a part of that, enjoy it, and then everything will be in one place, and we'll be able to then the clips channel, the interview clips channel, will have all the interview clips and all that stuff over there. So it's just a better way.
It looks like you got a succinct game plan of how you want to tackle this whole thing.
Yeah, it's the problem with some of the no live show. The problem with the live show, I got Ellis to agree on the reviews, but the live show, it just I don't know. It depends. I don't even know what's on there. I'd have to have somebody kind of scroll through them and look at them too. And I have no idea. I know you can watch some of the live shows on Patreon and membership right now. But anyway, that's what we got going on. So let's get into this, because this is a huge story, Toy Story, which is going to be huge. Toy Story 5. It's eyeing a record-breaking opening for the weekend, but it may be bad news for Supergirl. Toy Story 5 is on course to have the franchise's biggest ever opening, but good news for Pixar may be disastrous for Supergirl, which swoops into theaters just 1 week later. There's a huge amount of excitement for Toy Story 5, and all signs pointed to be the biggest movie of the year so far, at least until Spider-Man Brand New Day comes along. According to Deadline, current estimates point to the next Toy Story movie opening with $150 million in North America. That would be record-breaking first weekend, topping 120 by Toy Story 4 in 2019 by some margin. Some believe it could even go as high as 175. That's where I'm going with it.
Jeez.
That figure would also give Toy Story 5 the biggest opening of 2026, easily beating the Super Mario Galaxy movie's impressive 131.7. The good news for Disney is potentially bad for DC Studios. Supergirl opens 1 week after Toy Story 5, and even if the Pixar movie drops by 60%, it's doubtful that the Maid of Might's movie can debut at number 1. In fact, it may be steamrolled by Woody and the gang. In related news, you may recall reports about Taylor Swift's website being updated with a countdown that featured a strikingly similar background to the iconic cloud wallpaper featured in the Toy Story franchise. It was quickly pulled. Swifties have so far been unable to deduce what it meant. The prevailing theory was that Swift might have composed and sung a song for Toy Story 5 soundtrack, but with the movie less than a month away from arriving in theaters, we've seen nothing to suggest that's the case. In a recent interview with Khosla, directors Andrew Stanton and McKenna Harris were asked if the singer-songwriter has any involvement with the movie. Lindsay Collins chimed in saying, "We did see it. We saw it. We had never seen it before, and it surprised us. We'd be freaking honored." Sad truth is we watched the movie being mixed last week, and at the end was not Taylor Swift's song. Okay, yada yada yada. Toys are back, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Okay, look, this is a movie that is going to annihilate for a lot of different reasons. A lot of different reasons. First is what I said to you before. This is a movie right when it comes out, right around the course of the time where schools, some places schools out, some places schools are about to be out. Kids are going to the theaters. Kids want to see this. Even if you're an 8-year-old, when Toy Story 1 came out, you've seen Toy Story. My kid has seen all Toy Story movies, right? It's got that brand. It still carries the excitement that we said was missing from Star Wars for kids. It does. 4, I enjoyed. It wasn't even as close to as good as 1, 2, and 3. There was nothing inside of 4. Like I can't have Spoony or whatever his name was, or Forky or whatever his name was.
Forky, and then the duck and the rabbit that were Key and Peele.
I don't remember what it's about. It was cute, but I couldn't tell you what it's about. This movie, the reason people are getting excited about it, especially for parents, it is so relatable. I knew nothing about this except I saw the trailer and I saw toys versus technology and getting kids off the screens. And I went, that is the most brilliant thing that I could have imagined this franchise going. This is how you revitalize it. This is how you say, what can we do next? You make it current. And as I've said a million times over, if you get kids in that damn theater and get them excited, you got the magic sauce. And this has the magic sauce.
Yeah, because like it's funny because I agree with you. I think about Toy Story 4 and like the main thing there, because I'm sure you remember at the end of 3, Andy hands the toys off to Bonnie. So it's Bonnie's
yes,
like it was Bonnie's first movie with the toys, and this weird feeling of like, yeah, we're Bonnie's kid, but like, where's Andy? But she doesn't really play with us the way we like or whatever.
Right.
And she made up a toy. And it just didn't have the kind of thing to really have the connective tissue. And yet, 2019 was just a completely different era because you had 9 movies cross $1 billion, and you had an Endgame that year that's sitting at 2.8. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't see Toy Story 5 doing that, but I do see Toy Story 5 probably hitting $1 billion without any issue.
Oh, easy.
And crossing it significantly faster than, because it looks like Mario will get there. It's only, I think, 20 million away now.
Yeah, it'll hit $1 billion, but I think Toy Story 5 is going to do. Toy Story 5 and Spider-Man are going to be in contention for the winner of the year. I still think it'll be Spider-Man, but the reason Toy Story could do it.
You don't think Avengers will?
It's summer movies.
Oh, you said year though. That's why I was
sorry, of the summer.
Yeah.
The year will be Avengers. The summer will be Spider-Man, but if Toy Story winds up beating it, I won't be surprised. I'm still gonna say Spider-Man's gonna do. This is my new predictions on it. Spider-Man's gonna do 1.7. Toy Story does 1.6.
Interesting. Okay, let's see here. What about Supergirl? Which isn't even really in the conversation, but I'm curious.
Supergirl, I told you this a long time ago, and people are. I don't remember who it was on the show, but somebody. What did you initially think it was going to make? Supergirl.
I said like 500.
Okay, I mean that is a way more realistic goal, which is again not what they need. They needed to do more than that, obviously. Because the new rumor is that the movie costs $170 million, right? So anywhere between 360 and 400 to break even. I do not believe, especially with Toy Story coming out, and after looking at what Mandalorians can do, I just don't think it's going to get there. I think it'll just about break even. Get lucky if it does.
It's the one thing that has to happen, because it does have a lot working against it. Supergirl has to be a fantastic movie.
That's the major point. It's got to be great. Not it wasn't bad. It's got to be great.
It's got to be like you have to go see this, and that will still, I think, only get it around 500, unless it is like the greatest movie we've seen in the last like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it's got to have legs, because the point that they made was the most valid point. Even if this thing has a Toy Story 2 has a Toy Story 5 has a 60% drop, it's still going to be number 1 or close to number 1. You've got to hold on, and you've got to have an amazing, whatever your week 1 is for Supergirl, and then you got to have an amazing week 2. So they come out in is it June 26th? They're also Jackass is another one that's coming out. That'll take a little money away, but not enough to. If it was Supergirl versus Jackass and that was it, and it wasn't Toy Story week 2, then they'd be in good shape.
Right.
the problem that they're going to have, they're going to get smoked because after June 26th, you got Minions and Monsters comes out on July 1st.
Yeah,
it's smoked. Supergirl's going to be in big trouble because then on July 10th, you got Moana, and then July 17th is the Odyssey.
Because like that's the thing is it's hard to tell with Supergirl which quadrant it's really trying to fully attack. You're obviously trying to get the comic book fans, and a lot of that will be more focused towards like young males in that regard. Obviously, superheroes are for everybody, but because you're doing Supergirl, you're obviously looking at young women as well and things like that. So you're thinking you might kind of grab kids, but like you said, you're losing them from Toy Story.
Yeah.
You just mentioned all of them. Once you get to
this
Odyssey,
trailer doesn't play to kids at all.
No. And then once you get to Odyssey, you're going to eat a lot of that, like the young men and into the kind of action stuff, whatever. Yeah. You're going to eat away from that. Like Moana is then another thing, like you said, to pull away from kids. So you're going to pull that. Like each of those movies, as you mentioned, is pulling a different audience out of
pulling away from maybe the adults that were going to see it without their kids because they're going to take their kids to see something instead, and they'll spend the money on that. So, all right, what's your overall worldwide for Toy Story? What's your overall worldwide for Supergirl?
And it's for Spider-Man?
No, just those two.
I mean, Supergirl, I think, based off of what people are saying now, I think ceiling now is closer to 350, but I think it probably hits closer to
350. They got
290.
290. That's problems.
I'm concerned based off of everything we just brought up, and then like whatever else. I am, again. They hit 500. I think they're great, but I'm just now very concerned. But I it's hard for me to say without at least getting some inkling of reviews of this thing.
Yeah,
I need something to be able to really guess.
What's the final number?
My final number right now without reviews, 295.
Yeah, that's a big problem. I don't think that's a crazy prediction. I just think that if they do that, we both have it losing money. I have it at 310. I'd say 310 overall, and we both have it losing money.
If we get reviews and they say it's okay, I'll push it a little closer to your 310. If it's great, then we're looking 5, 6, maybe even 7, depending. But it has to be great. It has to be like
there's no chance.
You have to see this movie,
even if it's great. There's no chance with all those other movies coming out. No chance. It should have. If it's really great, they should have put it out in December. Because you got a better shot.
Mean, well, no, but it's I get it, but it's not necessarily because you then are directly competing with Avengers and with Dune, more so Avengers,
or maybe in November. I don't know whatever, but like, or maybe October. I don't know at this point because like all of those movies I just mentioned to you, there is no world it can make $700 million.
The only way that it can, again, is it has to be the best movie of all these movies by a mile.
Doesn't matter, even if it's great, because there have been movies that have been great. That have not had look not necessarily great even, but look at Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Okay.
Dungeons and Dragons is a really good movie. It's a really good movie, and we could have said, you know what, if it's really great, people will go back and see it. Word of mouth. No one cared about word of mouth. Everybody watched it on streaming. No one cared,
which is fair.
It's a really good movie.
My counter argument to that, though, I will not lie. You're then talking about the culture, and by that I mean,
and you would also say you're saying that Supergirl could, if it's really good, could outgrow Superman.
But it has to be fantastic because a lot of people said with Superman that Superman was very good, but it wasn't like, oh my god,
it's Superman. There's no world. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's great. There's no world. There's no world that it can make that.
The only reason I bring that up because it's still big enough of a property and all that kind of stuff to be able to pull that off, and it would be crazy. But you would essentially what we're talking about at this point, you have to have like a Sinners run. Sinners is obviously a completely different category, full original IP, like smaller budget, all that kind of stuff.
And it came out in April. It came out
that as well. I get all that, but I'm saying the only way that Supergirl like blows up is it has to have that kind of people being like, bro, I don't know how or why, but Millie Alcock is getting an Oscar nomination. This is crazy. Like it has to be mind blowing to really do the like gangbusters numbers. And then for Toy Story, I think Toy Story will go 1 point. What was the peak of last year?
The biggest movie last year? What the hell was last year?
Well, not Ningxia, because I can't even count that. It was Zootopia, because that was 2.2.
Minecraft wasn't last year. It was year before.
It was that Minecraft didn't cross $1 billion. Number 2 was Zootopia 2.
No, it did. Minecraft didn't cross $1 billion.
960.
Oh shit. Okay.
Zootopia 2 at 1.8.
Oh right. So, that's right. 1.8. Did it really?
It did 1.8. 1.866. So essentially 1.9.
Wow.
So I'll say Toy Story. With that being said, then with Toy Story, I feel like having slightly higher, then this is nuts to say, but let's assume Spider-Man is also exactly what it needs to be. Then I'll say Toy Story 1.8 and Spider-Man 2, and then Avengers like 2.5.
I don't think you're crazy at all. I think all those numbers would match up. I think you're crazy about the Supergirl thing. I don't think you're crazy about the other.
It has to be fantastic. I've said that a million times.
It could be Citizen Kane. It's not making more. It's not making more than Supergirl.
Citizen Kane is boring. That's no F that, bro. It needs to be like Empire Strikes Back meets Godfather. Like
it's again, it'll be one of those things that carries on. Like Fight Club is one of the best movies of all time. The movie sucked at the box office. Shawshank Redemption was one of the greatest movies of all time, and everybody who saw it loved it. Ate shit at the box office. If there's no interest in it up top in the initial wave, you're screwed. Anyway, what do you guys think overall? Toy Story, what are we looking at? Is it going to be one of the biggest? Is it going to beat Spider-Man? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, let's get into the questions, man, because we got some. So PLD, let me know if Nathan Drake is not the first question, please. We got Nathan Drake, and he said there were some articles saying that audience interest tracking has gone down 9 points for the Odyssey. What do you think? I think that there's also a part of the, that it's become political already, in a conversation. And maybe it hurts it, maybe it doesn't. That's one that if we go back to our previous conversation, if the Odyssey is great, 9% ain't gonna mean 9 points ain't gonna mean shit. Because that's going to be one where that's one of the greatest sword and sandals movie ever. People get over casting and everything pretty quick if the movie's amazing. I still say this guy made a movie about Oppenheimer almost make $1 billion.
Yeah.
So you just can't count him out.
That's the thing. It's Nolan. Like regardless of all of this, the in my opinion, the worst movie he's put out was like Tenet, and it wasn't even that bad. It was just confusing as shit. So yeah, exactly. So I think it'll be just fine one way or the other.
42 questions so far. Some big donations coming in. If you can get Winston to beat Steph, that's going to be something. Michael D, some early support for Winston.
Is he also holding Mike at James? That looks like James Bond's Walter PPK.
Yeah. Nathan Drake, someone asked on Hot Mic, is $700 million for the Odyssey would be considered low? Roca says he thinks that's fine for a mythology movie. Same question is how much is that movie to make? It's probably around. I mean, look, this is what I said. Some imbecile on Twitter the other day was like, "Oh, Crazy Harloff said that James Gunn and Peter Safran they wanted Superman to make $1 billion." Anytime you put fucking $200 million or more into a movie, yes. You want it to make $1 billion. The idea is that when you look at it and you say, okay, look, it made 600, 700. It made money. We made money on it. We made a profit. We did good. It would have been great to hit $1 billion, but we didn't. And that's why when that whole Ted Sarandos thing is that they had a plan of what they wanted to do because of superhero movies and what it was. And some guy is, I got you. Fucking moron. So overall, though, the question is with the Odyssey, when it comes to the Odyssey, is that this is another movie because his last movie made $925 million or whatever it was, and it was about Oppenheimer, as opposed to a grand scale Odyssey movie that there will be people that will probably go, wow, it only hit 700 million. Surprising. A little bit of a disappointment. Doesn't mean that it didn't make profit. Didn't mean that Roca's not necessarily wrong. Okay, $700 million for. If Oppenheimer would have made $700 million, people would be like, damn, Oppenheimer made $700 million, but it made $900 million. So yes, it would be considered low but it still would be okay because it made money. I believe if it's like 250 million, probably was what the budget was. That's what I'm gonna guess. PLD, what's the budget on the Odyssey?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I see, excuse me, I see some people kind of saying, and that's something to keep in consideration. I don't think we realized how much the whole Barbenheimer theme actually did really help. It obviously was a fantastic movie. It won
very different audiences,
Best
right?
Picture, completely different audiences, but people somehow got in the hype, and you really did end up having like dudes being like, "Hey, girl, I'll go with you to Barbie. You got to come with me to Oppenheimer." And then like, I'm wearing pink, you wearing a suit with the hat. Like, it really became like a whole cultural thing that kind of helped further launch that up because there was this rivalry of them coming out at the same time. I think 700 will probably happen for Odyssey, but I don't know if I call that low. I think I call that, it is, like you said, it is a swords and sandals epic, but Nolan did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we'll see. This next one comes in for sorry. All right, this next one comes in from our good buddy
Sammy.
For Will and David Beckham's co-star Winston. Congrats, dude. Are you in that movie?
So my World Cup commercial has come out. It's for I can talk about it now. It's for Lay's. So I actually it stars Will Ferrell, Marshawn Lynch, and David Beckham. And the only thing that bums me out about it, I'm still kind of front and center there for the end of the commercial. I added this whole like improvised riff with Will Ferrell that unfortunately didn't make the final cut. And I was crossing my fingers, bro, because I was like, that immediately goes on the reel of me improvising with Will Ferrell. But it's a fun commercial, man. I'm hoping it runs all the time because I got a wedding.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's all right. Let's see. Ron H, you want to say it.
What do I want to
say? Maybe? Ron H, welcome to Thrust into Media with BBC. There you go. How's that media doing? We explode over some news and BBC smacks it down hard. Ron really is losing his mind. I love it. You got to start One Piece live action on Netflix. It's your job, man. No one has power over me. No one, not you or Roka. Dad, pass, sucker. Ron H, is God is the truth. See this film.
It is.
People say it's good, man.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good. It'll be in my top 10 when the year's over. And I haven't even seen it on the movies. Huh?
Is it out yet on digital?
I don't think so. Maybe, but I don't think it had that slow of a run. But let me see.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, look, Obsession's coming out next week on digital.
Yeah.
Ron, Christian, why you got to pull the football away like Sally to good old Charlie Brown? Christian, did you see we have an interview with Sarah J for next Thursday? I think she's Canadian, by the way. Is she Canadian? I doubt that's true. Winston, for real. Cage, no. Yeah. Would you be mad at me if I had Sarah J on and you weren't part of the interview?
Yeah, I would cuss you out.
Yeah, Mike would probably feel the same way. So AI sluts.
I forgot about that. AI sluts. What was that? Nothing. It was nothing. It was an ad.
What do you want me to do?
An ad for a porn site you're on.
Whoops. Lucy snatches away from Chuck. What? Mike Joyce, Christian, as a UAP enthusiast, how does the government latest stunt make you feel? I was pissed off about it, to be honest. It's really lame. Does this mean there will be no disclosure anytime soon? So for people who don't know, the government posted or registered a website, aliens.gov, about, 2-3 months ago. And then they started releasing UAP documents and other thing and footage along that line. Then there started becoming rumors more and more that there's going to be talk and conversation about it. And then they pulled a stunt basically where they said they was like, they're among us. They walk among us. They this. And we're talking about illegal aliens. And it was a shitty way to whatever your opinion is on border and all that stuff too. It was a shitty way to do that when that people are enthused about this particular topic. And you did that. It was like shitty clickbait is what it was.
Well, and that's again without diving into all that, but that's just the thing is that it's an administration full of trolls. Like you said, that's a real.
That's just something like you're going to lose people, especially that because the community. You look at it, people that visited that site were there for information, and whether there's nothing there, but that is like push. It's like, pushing something where you're like, hey, look what we're selling. We're selling pizza. We're selling pizza. And then you go on the pizza website, you get some pizza, and it's a guy who wants to do your taxes for you or something.
Dude, it was. Do you remember at the start of this NBA season where all of a sudden LeBron was like, "Hey, I have this really important decision I got to make, man. This is like a big deal." And everybody's like, "Oh shit, dude, he's gonna announce his retirement. This is gonna be his last season." And then he's like, "I'm announcing that I'm taking my talents to Hennessy. Me and Hennessy making a special LeBron Hennessy." And I'm like,
it's shitty. Armada saw Mando last night. It was fine. Do you know how many people have said that? It's fine. It's so sad.
I shouldn't be laughing at that. That's sad.
So sad. Let's see Backrooms today. Last night, people were smoking weed in the parking lot, ready to go in Backrooms. That's one you definitely could smoke weed for. I'll tell you.
I feel like I would be too frightened knowing the story of
Backrooms. Okay with it. You wouldn't be that frightened with it.
Oh, did you went to you've already seen your screening? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's creepy. It's
I'm
creepy.
not worried about it if I was sober. I would be concerned about being stoned.
Yeah, I could see that. But Norm, but it's not one of those movies that you would be. Because I know you don't like horror movies. This is more like a psychological thriller.
Which I'm coming around.
It's creepy though. It's creepy.
I'm coming around because like there's still some that I draw a hard line at, but like I was actually excited to see Backrooms. I watched both the Smile movies. Hell, I went to go see the second one in theaters.
Oh, yeah, you did. I remember that. Yeah.
You know, so like
you can handle Smile. You can handle this.
Yeah.
Crap and shits. Quick the handle so I don't have to hear Christian butcher my last name. Fair. Congrats to your Knicks. Cavs look tired. Oh well, go. The Cavs gave up in game 3.
Dude, it was so funny to just kind of see how that ultimately played out, and truly to see the city of New York, the way that y'all are so hyped, bro, and I'm happy for you because it's crazy.
Winning it would be great. By the way, so I just realized that Mandalorian and Grogu might actually be the #1 movie next week. PLD has seen the movie 4 times already. He's probably going to see it another 573,000 times just so it catches up.
Jesus.
I mean, you talk about core audience. It's just like you can make a T-shirt with Grogu eating a tomato sandwich and PLD is going to buy it. My choice. Mando and Grogu is definitely anti-woke. It is.
What
the hell are you talking about? The Grogu solo portion made me want to fall asleep. That was the part that PLD said he loved. It was like downing a bottle of NyQuil. That's
like, because the part about it that sucks is that's
so boring.
That would have been a great moment for like to see some like true growth out of Grogu, and I guess it was supposed to be, look, he did it by himself. I'm like, yeah, but
he hasn't evolved. He's a baby bouncing around the place. He's trained by Luke Skywalker. He's learned shit. Armada, dude. What makes more money, Obsession or Backrooms? Backrooms, I think, will make more money this week.
Backrooms, because I think as good as Obsession is doing, and it is doing exceptionally well, it will slow down.
I think it's going to be Backrooms, Obsession, Mandalorian, and Grogu.
God damn, you think it's going to be that bad?
Mike just sent me that article. I told you that article. This is tracking at 3. I think it already. I mean, Obsession's already beating it. Backrooms tracking to like 40 million opening weekend.
Well, but you're talking about just this weekend. I thought you meant overall.
Overall, is that what Ahmad is asking for? What makes more money?
That's what I was saying. I think overall Backrooms will do better than Obsession.
Again, when you look at now, if you're talking profit, I don't know the answer because I don't know how much. I think Obsession costs like $10 million. Not Obsession. Backrooms costs like $10 million. Obsession didn't even cost $1 million.
750,
right?
750K.
So overall profit, not was you looking at the actual number of it all. Profit, I think Obsession, bigger number overall will be Backrooms. But then again, if Backrooms makes $20 million more, then Obsession still makes more money overall too. So who knows? All right. Maddie B, what up, Maddie B? Good morning. Obsession has passed 100 million worldwide over 125 times since production budget of 750. This guy's Passion of the Christ. This guy could absolutely, he could retire. He could retire.
1,000%. Because it was a YouTuber that put this out, right?
Yeah.
Did he release this himself, or what did he do as far as like how he just showed it?
I can't remember. People probably
he used Focus Features. He went through Focus Features.
Okay, yeah.
So but either way,
they got a piece of it. they get a piece of it, and he gets the rest.
Bro, he could literally, he found his Bitcoin.
Ray, nice haircut. There you go. Yeah, that's looking slick, man.
Thank you, sir.
Tom Hanks. I saw a new movie release on Peacock titled "Another Man's Wife." I clicked on it. Do you ever remember that bit, "Another Man's Wife"? You remember that one, Winston? Yeah, I clicked on it in surprise, but it wasn't the one you're thinking of. Happy Friday.
I don't remember that bit.
Look up Taylor Hayes, "Another Man's Wife."
Uh-oh.
There you go. Mr. I crap and shits. The music and Mando and Green Cash grab during the Shikari scene felt like if Ridley Scott directed Blade Runner scene Star Wars. Yeah. It was jarring. It didn't feel like Star Wars. I'll tell you, so I think what we're doing is we are going to, because right now we just put up Batman v Superman, the deluxe edition, or Ultimate Edition rather. That just went up on the channel. We're going to put Wonder Woman up on Tuesday? Wait, Friday. Next Friday. So then after that, I think that we're going to wait for more DCEU stuff, maybe closer to Supergirl, or maybe just wait a little bit. We're going to start diving into Andor, because Sam and I already watched 6 episodes of Andor. And like there are some Blade Runner like scenes in Andor too, but I don't know, it just fits good. I love that show so much. Okay. Nathan Drake. How much does Mando and Grogu damage the brand if the audience scores are high? Well, like I said, people that are like PLD and people who that it's intended for, like that, they're enjoying it, right? They're enjoying it. The brand, though, Nathan's got to be it's got to outstretch those people, because if the people who are seeing it liked it, great, good job. Listen, come on, you're on a show.
I know she's whining too much. It's gonna be a whole fucking thing.
I gotta get some professionalism on this show. I swear to God, I've got people. It's a really cute dog though, but I got people. 1 minute after the show starts, I got people with bad cameras. Come on, we're trying to run a professional show here.
I 100% understand, but
I love that
it's either that or her just whining the whole rest of the show. So,
all right,
I'm gonna put her away in a minute, but I just need to calm her down.
Fine. Anyway, so what you need to do is the way that you don't damage the brand is get people in the theater to see it, and don't have any conversations of whether or not it's going to make a profit. You need to have a conversation that's a big success, and Star Wars is back. Star Wars was the brand.
That's the problem. That's ultimately the problem, is it's not just the fan stuff. Cool. The 100 people that went to go see it loved it. That didn't make you any money. That's the ultimate thing, is like, yes, you can have high audience scores, but did 10 million people see it? Or like it's 500 people that put good audience scores on it.
The problem that I have though too is like, Nathan, like, how do you not see that the brand is damaged if the audience scores are? I mean, because you look at the box office. We just told you on this show, unless you already knew it too. We found out today, it's going to be the number 3 movie in its second week. A Star Wars movie is going with $160 million budget. It's going to be the number 3 movie against a movie with a budget of $10 million and a budget of $750,000. And it's going to be the number 3 movie. Nathan, how can you look at that and say it's not damaged, regardless of audience scores? I'm very curious about that. Yoshimitsu, Star Wars original trilogy, good story, well told. Prequel trilogy, good story, poorly told. Star Wars sequel trilogy, no story, poorly told. Mando and Grogu, no story, well told. Very accurate.
I mean, that's really good. That's a really good breakdown.
Yeah, nice job. Ray, sad to hear that you all didn't enjoy season 4 of Grogu and Mando. I enjoyed what I saw until I heard the internet picked apart the script. Hilarious. Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those things that I think that, what I have heard, and I can probably agree with this too, is I think that a lot of people, because once the movies and reactions came out, that the expectations were lowered so much that people's expectations, when they were lowered and just knew that they were just going in to shove popcorn in their face and be in a different galaxy, enjoyed what they got. I think there was a lot of people like that. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much what I expected. It's fine. I just think that Star Wars deserves better. That's
I
all.
agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with
I'm
you.
too fly cam. Kinberg did X-Men Apocalypse and the Phoenix movie. Now he gets the Star Wars trilogy. Directed the Phoenix. That's why I'm nervous if he directs it. Filoni at the helm overall. Maybe Star Wars is best in the past for me. There's something to be said about that though too. He probably had a really good meeting with Filoni as well because they're tight. So it is going to be a bit of a nervous thing for a lot of people if he's directing the movies. But if he's producing and he's telling stories, I don't know. Yeah.
I agree with that, but I just, the minute you said that he was writing, I was like, no. There's a reason why I don't like this. And then looking at it, I'm like, I don't trust any of the writing. I just don't.
It's fair. Okay. This is Wraith X, who says Star Wars can't move forward and win the fans back until the sequel trilogy has parts of it retconned or the entire sequel trilogy is made non-canon. That's essentially what my brother said. That's essentially what he said. He said they got to make some kind of big, huge move that will piss people off. And maybe that's the case. But if we're talking about the rumors that episodes 10, 11, and 12 are coming out with Daisy Ridley, then they ain't going to retcon it. And the sequel trilogy non-canon, it's just not going to happen. I don't disagree that it maybe should happen, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do something different. They have to. I just don't. We've been playing in the sandbox for too long, and the sand has glassed over at this point. Like, we just have to play in a different sandbox now.
Matt's at the movies. That's nice, very generous as well too, Matt. Thank you. I wish I could get Old Republic focused trilogy with the Sith Emperor as an overarching villain, with him jumping into new bodies and wiping out planets by absorbing life. Also, always wanted to see Sith species in movie or show. I know. I'm with you.
I forget that they were a species.
Yeah, that's where it kind of came from. It came from the planet and everything too. And you go to the history of it through Old Republic and all of that. Like there's just so much you can make out of, like, you could do, and not to the extent in the rated R version of what Game of Thrones was, but you could do an Old Republic TV show in that vein of treating it like it actually happened, real history, and make it pretty phenomenal with all that stuff with the Sith stuff and how that came and holocrons. And
that would be super cool.
You'd have to really dive deep into it though. Mr. iCrappen, just, is it me or am I the only one that hoped Filoni's X-Wing pilot would have been shot down? There's usually one X-Wing shot down in a dogfight. None. Yeah, no, I don't think it was that kind of. It wasn't that kind, but it's the same thing though, dude. You know, there was no one that you're really emotionally attached to in that, and even they wasted Sigourney Weaver, wasted her. She did nothing except deliver a couple lines. Then she shows up in an X-Wing. That was cool.
That's not true. There is one character. No, not that. Oh. You said that there's no characters.
Don't say Rhoda the Hutt, please.
No, not Rhoda. It was the food stand guy who I found out was apparently Martin Scorsese. Okay. I didn't know that was Scorsese. I had no idea.
He was the most heavily developed for sure. I don't disagree with you. Like the family and everything else too. Absolutely. No, let's let him speak English. All the Hutts should speak English. Perfect. Yeah. PLD, you love everything.
I'm my own man. I don't need my daddy. I'm my own man.
That's going around now too. Like, see, I don't want to.
I'm my own man.
I saw somebody on Twitter is like, I don't want to go too far here, but I have a guess that Rhoda thinks he might be his own man.
Bro, say that? My dad's a fat fucking slob. I'm my own man. I got 12 abs.
You know, I saw an interview with him. Do you know he didn't even know what the movie was about?
Wait, what?
They had him come in. He read lines a long time. They recorded dialogue for him. He had no idea what the script was. He just read these lines, wherever it was, and then they had him come back in after they developed the part a little bit more, but he still hadn't really seen the script and all right. Armada AYT. Did you see the movie Pressure? No, I didn't. I had a shoot that I had to go to. I was in the city. I came back. I had to shoot stuff. They were really nice. They invited me to the premiere and everything too. I couldn't get there. I heard it's really good though. It is a movie that I'd like to see, but I missed out on it. I'm sorry. Yoshimitsu. I loathe the sequel trilogy, but I really like Rey, Finn, and Poe as he was written in episode 7. I'm fully on board with a good story featuring them. I think that's the thing. I think there's going to be those people that just no matter what, you can never make those characters good. Huh. And that might be true. But I'm always in the same way that I'm thinking, if you got the right person to do an A24 version of Terminator, you can still do a good movie. You can still do a good movie. If you find the right writer, you can still make it. You might be able to make those characters work in a way that, because I'm with you. Finn had the opportunity to be the best character in the whole trilogy. He had the best arc. It was okay. The stormtrooper that went against the grain had something. Originally, he was supposed to be the one with the Force also, and he's supposed to feel this kind of energy and everything too. And he goes against the grain, and by the end of it, he's fighting. He's fighting. That fight has come out. He's not running anymore. He's fighting. And by the second movie, he's running away again. He's scared again, and he's just right back to square one. They ruined it.
Yeah, they did. And then it Ben and Rey always felt forced to me. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm immediately on the Finn Rey train per se, but like, you just put all this stuff that like drove me this one direction where I agree with you. I think the character that was ultimately the most interesting was Finn. Yeah. And then you tease, similar to how Leia at the end of Return of the Jedi, she's like, I think I understand the Force. I think I have the connection to it too. You give Finn that kind of similar little moment, but like he should have had much more than that.
100%. All right. Tyler Balmer. Hey guys, can you dumb it down for me why movies and video games production budgets are so high when technology is faster and cheaper than ever before? Look, when I can let Winston can talk about the game aspect of it. That's not my battlefield. I will say, as far as movies go, yes, movies could be significantly cheaper, and I feel like we should be in a renaissance here to prove that. When you look at what movies like, and yes, I know it's in the horror genre, and that's usually the one that has those big success stories. But if you look at the Obsessions, you look at Backrooms, you look at, even look again. I know Chris Stuckman's movie didn't like make hand over fist, but he made it for like a 2.1, and it still made a profit on it. Like making movies on smaller budgets, getting people excited, using different audiences, those types of things, but also even major movies, making them more for like 40 to 80 and focusing more so on characters and story and using the tools that you have through technology. Like you're saying, Tyler, you could bring budgets down significantly. They're still throwing crazy amounts of money at movies, and it's a real gamble to try to do it.
As far as video games, I think the main thing there is, it's time. If you're looking at AAA games, you're looking anywhere from 3 to 7 years to develop a game.
Yeah, right.
And that's a large part of the difference. You got to remember, you're dealing with story, you're dealing with the actual like physical design of the game, you're dealing with debugging and all that kind of stuff and testing, obviously whatever sort of marketing stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it just depends on the size of the game. And then those AAAs are the ones we're talking about, the Grand Theft Autos, the Call of Duties, et cetera, et cetera. The reason why you can take a Call of Duty or a Madden and that budget doesn't balloon quite as much, you take the same backbone. They essentially give you the same game every year with tweaks versus a Jedi Survivor that, that took forever to develop. Yeah. So that's where that ends up being so expensive.
Alan Smithy, if they continue the Skywalker Saga, at what point do the Two Live Crew show up and sing "Me So Horny"? That would be. I'm sure someone will do that in AI pretty soon. Maddie B, production budgets equal money laundering. Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe. The great Tim Sim, me that enjoyed 2/3 of the sequel trilogy. I do agree that if Starfighter is a hit critically and financially, and there's another trilogy, Kinberg has to be involved in all 3 films with them going bold and new. Maybe The Last Jedi bold? No, that would be the worst thing ever. That's, again, these are like stances that people take that I can't believe. Like even if a movie for me, like even if I was on the other side of The Last Jedi and said I love that movie, I would still say they can't do that again. You have to have the fan base on the same side. I'm not saying cater to people, but you have to do what they did in Mandalorian seasons 1 and season 2. That got everybody back on the same page for the most part. You can't do that bold stuff anymore with it, because people, and even with Kathleen Kennedy, less lightsabers and less this, and no original music, and it's like you got to bring back what people enjoy about it and still make it fresh and new.
You can be bold, but it has to be Andor bold.
Yes. I would go more bold. Oh, there you go, love it, Andor again. Yeah, but they took swings on it and they still stayed true to it. You can't divide the audience again, Tim. Can't do that. No matter how much you love that movie, I can't. I mean, like, that to me has come almost. It's not necessarily political, but it's become a place where it's just like, I have to prove how much I hate that movie, or I have to prove how much I love that movie. And if I love it, they should do it again. Do it again. Who cares if everybody gets pissed off? You are hurting the brand that you love. More, you really are. Ray, is anyone excited for In the Gray? Is it out yet? I kept saying I want to support Guy Ritchie, the directing, after watching his last few movies at home. I mean, I don't know. I think I saw somebody who saw it. I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I didn't even remember that In the Gray was coming, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I can't remember if someone saw it. Battery. If Ahsoka season 2 is trash like season 1, Filoni has to hang it up for live action adaptations. Guy needs to stay in animated, where he kills. Grogu movie is 3 out of 10. I said this when they were going through, looking at who was going to be the succession for Kathleen Kennedy. I said it can't be Filoni. I said, you got to give Filoni animation. He is brilliant when it comes to animated. Brilliant. I mean, like, I'm not using the word loosely. He's brilliant when it comes to animated. It's what he, with Avatar that he did, with all Rebel stuff and Clone Wars. He's brilliant. He ain't cutting it in live action. At least not with writing.
Not so far. No.
Not with writing. Maybe Ahsoka 2 is a big change, but from what I heard also is that he's been like, he won't let anybody get near it. He's writing the whole thing. Bring in writers, dude. You need it. You need the help.
One of the things that I think was interesting, because we brought up earlier the Peyton Reed and the Ryan Coogler, Filoni, here's your kind of guide.
Yeah.
I remember watching those behind the scenes and them talking about all of those directors, especially once you then got to Infinity War and Endgame. They were in essentially a writer's. As a matter of fact, I interviewed Peyton Reed on the red carpet for Civil War.
Awesome.
And he's like, yeah, we have a collective. We're like on a text chain. We meet up together as directors and we talk about what's going on in our movies and how that affects the overall thing. We're connected. So you're finding a way to bring those creative minds together to flush all of that out. The same thing needs to happen here.
I think what they need to do is, because even PLD thinks he needs a writer's room. I think that maybe they do have one, but what they need to do is, and I've said this way before he was involved too, they got to get their novelists in that room. Now, not all novelists, as you know, can write scripts. It's a different art form, novels and scripts. But the Claudia Grays of the world, the Alexander Freeds, the James Lucinos, the Drew Carpathians, they tell great stories. Christy Golden, they tell great stories, Star Wars stories. Get them in the room, throw it around, have conversations about it, talk about it, and like have a big think tank in there. And like, I don't understand why they wouldn't do that.
Yeah. I don't understand either.
Also, what a time to be alive. This is Tim Sim. If me and PLD are more hopeful on Star Wars than most here, hope everyone has a good weekend ahead. But all right, but let me ask you that question. I ask PLD and Tim both the same question. When you are hopeful on Star Wars, what does that mean to you? Are you're now as a brand and a business brand, not as far as what you guys saw in the theater, because PLD, we know, he's actually texting us from the theater right now. He's got a laptop in the theater and he's watching it for the 8th time right now. But can you acknowledge, or maybe you don't acknowledge, that as a brand, it's not in a good spot? It's not, as far as you can look at these numbers, you have to understand it's not in a good spot. Like, so, I mean, how are you hopeful as a business side of it? That's what I'm curious about more so than anything else.
That's fair.
Yoshimitsu, don't set the WoW cube to the lament configuration. Go pal. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Look,
thank you, Go pal.
Memberships right now, crushing. We're almost at 1,000 members right now, guys.
Wow.
So we're almost at 1,000 members, and we're gonna be a lot of unedited stuff. Got the unedited of Batman v Superman up there. We got the unedited of Wonder Woman coming soon, of Invincible. Lots of stuff that's coming. So, and then our exclusive streams that we do. Plus, as I mentioned, Schmoes Know live show, a couple of those episodes, those won't be on the Schmoes Know Vault, but you can still see them if you're a member. All right. Noah Lawson. I've never been a fan of Filoni's vision, live action or animated. Fair enough. His animated shows always look cheap and kind of ugly. Interesting. You think Maul looked ugly? Maul was gorgeous. Plus, the writing feels like fan fiction. He's more interested in his own characters too. I can understand that criticism. I definitely think he's more interested. This is what I said though. I think he's turning it into Filoni's Star Wars, which is an issue. I think that Mandalorian and Grogu to me was proof of that. But I disagree with the writing and the animation feeling like fan fiction, and I definitely disagree about the cheap animation. I thought it looked pretty. I like the animation.
I mean, I still haven't seen Maul, but I've seen all the trailers, and it's gorgeous. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah,
about it being ugly.
Maul was awesome. Did you watch Maul?
No. That's what I was saying. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks gorgeous.
It's great. Noah Lawson. Lucasfilm needs to hire genre writers, filmmakers, experience in sci-fi fantasy. Yeah. Most of their choices have been fanboys wanting to play with toys. I need the Star Wars world and characters. They need a writer's room, and they need people who've been doing this. Novelists, for God's sakes, they're right there. Alexander Wilson. The difference between Obsession and Mando is that Obsession is about something. It asks the audience questions, and it makes them think. Mando is literally about nothing. It was just bland action. It was a monster every 10, 15 minutes. It was a monster.
That's literally, that has been my complete. Now, the difference between the other 3 movies that I have said this about is that they made money. And I guess just because people aren't as burnt out as they have been on Star Wars. But I said the same thing about Mario. I said the same thing about Devil Wears Prada. And I said the same thing about Michael. I think out of the 3 of them, the Devil Wears Prada probably did it the best, but it still felt like there was some stuff that was kind of lacking for me there. It felt like more you were kind of rehashing some stuff out. But then with Michael, you didn't press me. We didn't need to joke because we ended in the 80s. So you didn't need to press me on. I've said this multiple times about the allegations, but there's a lot of stuff that happened in his life that we, in the air span that we covered, you didn't press Michael. And then
look, and again, I love him, but I'm going to strangle him. It's not about father-son dynamic. It has a father and son dynamic. There is a father and son dynamic between the 2 of them. That's not the story. It's not what it's about. It's got like a couple things there. The whole series is about that after you get to season 2. That's not enough for a movie. If that's what you're reaching for, that's what it's about. It has a dynamic. So
I was going to say
my sports after I eat too much fucking tacos.
PLD, that's a reach, because then what that would say is like, hey man, the Justice League, that's just about like, that's a workplace comedy about friends. It's like, no, it's more than that. Like at this point, we already knew that they work together.
Stories about it's just a dynamic,
right?
It's just the thing that I don't disagree that they have a father-son dynamic. That's not what that's what it's about, though. It's nothing. It's not about anything.
That you can say that if it's a brand new idea. What is the movie about? It's about a father and son trying to figure each other out. We've had 3 seasons of this show. We know it's a father-son dynamic. What is this story about?
Right. Alexander Wilson. The problem with Star Wars, besides Gilroy Star Wars, almost all the stories have been about nothing, just action figure storytelling. Unfortunately, the only one that had a chance of developing that and looked like there was some stuff with like PTSD and other things that were going on was Obi-Wan. It just, again, I don't blame the actress who played Reva. That character should have been nowhere near it. They made that the character should have all been about Obi-Wan and trying to figure out, and the back and forth of what was going on with Obi-Wan, and they lost what it was about. They lost the plot. So there was a lot in there with Obi-Wan that I think had the most plot for sure, because of what I always said. I mean, that line of Obi-Wan once thought as you did, but we never really got that either, unfortunately.
Which also, the PLD came back and he was like, "No, but it's the whole Rhoda storyline, different father-son dynamics." But when do we see Rhoda ever interact with Jabba? So then, where am I getting that dynamic? He just says, "I'm not my dad. I'm not my dad. I'm not my dad." That's not a father-son dynamic. That's like my dad. That's all that is.
No, it's a good clone. It was a good Clone Wars episode that no one will remember ever again. Alexander Wilson. The problem with Star Wars, besides Gilroy's Star Wars, or that he did that already. Sorry, Matty B. Backrooms made its entire production back of $10 million on Thursday preview screenings alone. That's nuts. Earning 10.4 before its official opening day. Yeah, it's gonna be a big movie. But it's also, it's the other side of it too. And this is what I fear for He-Man, as I said, is that I think though now both He-Man and Star Wars has become a brand for people who don't go to the movies as much anymore. Because meaning the majority, like PLD and other people that really love it, and myself that will go and see these movies, and we'll go and see it. But our generation does not go to the movies as much anymore. And the younger generation, I'm talking, the people that are really the age range that goes to the theater, cares more about Backrooms, cares more about Obsession. They don't give a shit about He-Man. They don't give a shit about Star Wars. And I wouldn't be surprised to see what I want to see what Digital Circus does. In that day, when Digital Circus and how many theaters it's in, I don't know how many theaters it's in, but I want to see what Digital Circus does and what Mando and Grogu does on the same day.
You have a point in that. You also got to remember, like you said, with our, like I would say, what our parents' generation, and then your generation, and then my generation, as far as all that goes. We're so worried about where the economy is at. Like, again, it's always been a younger people that have tended to go to the movies as far as stuff that's got the disposable income. And if they're more interested in seeing their favorite YouTuber had made a movie and they want to go support it, and then the movie happens to be good on top of that.
100%. Maddie B. House of the Dragon season 3 dropped this morning. Reaction coming with Sam. She was supposed to come in today, but she's not going to be able to. So I might just react to it by myself, but I want to see. Let me see. I'm going to ask her. I'll ask her right now and see. Is there a world where you can pop in here today for about 30 minutes to watch House of Dragon new trailer? Let's see. Maybe not, but we'll see. Michael D. Next 2 months are going to be packed with films. Yep, a lot of them. That was Mike, by the way, too. Look at that picture. It's Mike.
Oh wow, it's like the cool. Doom guy.
Looks like it. That's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
Yoshimitsu, congrats on that awesome commercial, Winston. Can you send me the commercial? I want to see it.
Yeah, send it right now.
Joseph Ashley, what's up, man? Winston, you seeing I Love Boosters? Also sucks. Big Balls couldn't say goodbye to Steph. Hope Supergirl is good. I think when she comes back in, he'll say goodbye.
Thank you on the love for the commercials, and as far as on the commercial, as far as the I Love Boosters, I will. It's a timing thing. So for me, like I said, my fiance's birthday is today, so I'm with her all day today, and then her party is tomorrow. So at best, maybe on Sunday, it might be in the middle of the week next week.
Dude, Digital Circus is 2,000 screens in the U.S. It's tracking at 10 to 17 million. I'm telling you, we're in a different place right now. Very different place. Okay.
What like just for reference, because I don't think that's something I've ever had a grip on. What's like what did Mando get released on screens wise? Like how many screens was that?
PLD, tell me how many it was in there. I mean, way more than that, obviously, from Disney. But I mean, so
I guess that's what I'm saying. When you said 2,000, that doesn't mean
how many screens compared to they're going to do a 10 to 17. How many did they have their opening weekend? I'm curious to see. Crap and Shits. There's a movie coming out this weekend that's getting no press. Tuner. I've heard about this movie actually. I saw it as a mystery movie a few weeks ago. It's actually pretty good. Did you tell me about this, Crap and Shits? You might have. I don't know. Mando is 4,300 screens.
Okay, so it's half the screens, and it's doing 10 on an insanely small budget. That's great.
10 to 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
Armada. I need Ming in Star Wars where his ship farts.
Every time it fires laser.
Yeah.
Just wait a second. Don't even.
Yeah.
Oh,
bang this
God.
chick.
Two of them. Oh, the clone. It's the clone.
Oh, yeah.
What a great! I didn't even think about that.
Fuck, that's good.
Dude, Ming might become my favorite, bro, because I've been enjoying his workout videos. They've been good.
Yeah, they're good.
And shit like this. I haven't watched you guys.
Oh, you gotta watch the Invincible
reactions
reactions.
yet.
Yeah, you have
But
to.
have you? So are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I knew that I would. It's just he was supposed. We got to get him in to do the next. We're just gonna watch season 1 for sure. The second, I knew what happened. The first episode did good. It was everyone wanted. And the second episode ate shit in the same way that the Demon Slayer thing. And then the rest of them we eat shit. And then we'll just do season 1. That'll be the end of it. Yoshimitsu, they made that. It was Project Hail Mary. What is that? They made what?
They made it. They made that. It was Project Hail Mary. Oh, is that a bold new Star Wars take? Is that what Yoshimitsu is?
Not sure.
I don't know.
All right, Michael D. Ming is Punisher. Let me tell you something. Then he farts.
Wait. No.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Jesus Christ, I'm so glad that I don't have to do live shows with him. Good God.
Armando, what film is going to be the motion party this summer? What's going to be the motion party? What is that? The one that people fuck to? Is that what he means? I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means.
Then it's definitely backrooms.
Backrooms, yeah, in the back room.
Exactly.
Yoshimitsu, toot to scoot. Yep. Mike Joyce, you let Mike be Mike on the Tuesday show. How come you only Winston when he's on? Free Winston. What the hell is he talking about?
I was you told me a long time ago when we started Capes and Cows that I had to tone it down. So I have been
tone it down. You
yeah.
Tone it? I said cursing wise.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to tone it down. That's so you got to be careful with your words, because when you tell someone like, "Hey, man, you got to tone it down," then you're like, then you say like,
I ain't anything like that. I ain't anything like that. I've just meant the fact that Mike can say whatever fucks.
Now, yeah, but I've also. When was the last time I told you that? But the thing is, it's different when you space it out. But you and Ming too, both you guys won't balance it out. You'll throw 87 Fs in 3 sentences, and so will he. Ming's the same way. When we were watching a reaction, Mike will hit it with a rhythm. If you hit it with a rhythm, I don't care. It's like when it's and when Ming did the same thing when we were watching some reaction, and he's just throwing. It's like, dude, why do you care? Because YouTube cares. YouTube cares. That's why.
What you told me initially was
it was family
people that were writing in and said, I watched this with my kids.
And that was true for Capes and Cows. We don't do Capes and Cows anymore, though. Yeah. Johnny Patrizia, Winston has to do the show like this from now on. Like what? Oh, with this. With what's the hair? I don't understand.
I mean,
Tim Sim. Last thing for those that are saying Star Wars is dead, long live Dune. I advise a word of caution, especially talking with those who read the later Dune books after Messiah. Emphasis on caution. I've heard that. I've definitely heard that for sure. Yeah. That it gets really weird.
Yeah.
Armada. Toy Story 6 is where Bonnie will be like Mike on X.
Oh my God.
True. Yeah, he's not great on that platform. Mike Joyce. Aja's adorable, Winston. How old is she now?
She is 4. She will be 5 in 2 months.
Okay. All right, next one. Rob Tari. I would love if Star Wars focused on 10 to 12 for movies and did more Disney Plus series around characters people love, like Vader. I'm with you. Like, it's like, but you got to be, because that's the thing, you can get away with that on TV also. And I still think, I'm telling you, if you adapted James Luceno's Darth Plagueis novel into like 6 to 7 episodes and adapted that novel, it would do very well.
Oh, and someone says that was from when I had Asia in my arms. They were saying I have to do the show holding Asia from now on, like every show.
Got it. Yoshimitsu, pretty. Looking modern graphics and games are exponentially more time consuming than 20 years ago for diminishing returns of visible upgrade. Okay. Fair enough. Live Daily 77. Winston's the man. I swear, I thought I heard Kev was going to be on today. He was supposed to be. He wrote me yesterday. He told me he was going to be on today. And then when I was talking about that on the show yesterday, he texted me and said, I can't do it. He's got work time. He's going to be back on Wednesday. Anyway, would enjoy a show with you two and Smets one day. Have a great weekend. Look, Kevin pops, whenever Kevin's able to pop in, we'll put him on any show he wants to be on. But he's going to be back next Wednesday for sure.
Cool.
Lincoln West, there he is. Preach, Christian. In the same vein, how no one gave a shit about Keaton's Batman in The Flash. I'm young and didn't really care. Would have preferred Bale. Right. I mean, I think as we've talked about, it's like it was like you have to understand who's going to the theater and who you're going after, right? Like I love that Keaton was in it, but that was my generation. This guy clearly not for him.
And I thought Keaton did a fantastic job with the whole thing, but it would have been. I never even thought about putting Bale in it, but it would have been a little bit more like it wouldn't have fit the tone, I guess.
Yeah, no, because it's true because he was based in reality.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to understand how far removed certain things are, and I think Michael Keaton would have made more sense in a Batman Beyond being an old Bruce than what happened.
Lincoln follows it up. It says, P.S. Me and other fans from Kevin's KOTOR channel found you and he joined. Now we're super fans. I love that. Love Wednesday shows, but really enjoy Chris and Winston too. Yeah. Look, we've got a new we found we were trying to find what we were going to do with the shows in general. We had that town hall thing, and then it turned out we didn't really need it because we have an idea of now exactly what we're going to do. Again, Mondays, Roca. Tuesdays, Mike will be on every Tuesday. Roxy will be on for 2 or 3 of those Tuesdays. Wednesday will be Kevin Smets. Thursday will be Chris Carr. Friday will be Winston, and Steph will be back to do reactions when she's back from Babyland. Researched the 12% of the Mandalorian and Grogu theater demographic was 17 and under. So children and teens aren't even going to see it. Yeah.
So that 1,000% explains why the drop off was so heavy, because in that case, if the biggest
everybody who wanted to see it saw it.
If the biggest fans of Mandalorian and Grogu were children, but no children went, then
no.
Because you mentioned that kid that came out, Dad, I want to see that again. If only 12% of the audience were those kids, that's not going to do it. You need 50% of the audience to say that.
All those kids to come back, and that's what I thought. Maybe that could happen, but it clearly didn't. I'm telling you, like I saw people talking about how this movie is going to make $1 billion and sticking their heels in the ground, saying it's going to make $1 billion. And I said, you don't go to Vegas ever. Now, if you put bets on it, you're going to be living on the streets, because that's a bet. I mean, I would have bet 87 steak dinners on that. That $1 billion, that there's no world that could make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Crazy people thought that. Mild mannered comic nerd. This is more of a question. I don't know PLD, and all film is subjective. Maybe that's the story he took away from the movie. I love PLD more than anybody. PLD is probably the most A, loyal, B, kind, C, insane person I've ever met in my life. He loves, he's one of the guys though too. And this is if he was doing stuff all the time and wasn't, he's a dedicated husband, he's a dedicated father, he works all the damn time. So he's not as on YouTube all the time. He's got a channel and he does things, but if he was on all the time, he would be, let's say PLD had 500,000 subscribers. There'd be dedicated videos of how much PLD is a shill. And PLD is a paid shill. And PLD, because he loves everything. He loves everything Star Wars. I asked the guy to do what was his criticism of Star Wars? Well, I hope Kinberg doesn't direct it. That's his criticism. So he doesn't, and it's admirable. He wants this thing to be great. It isn't. He wants it to be great.
He said he also agrees Sigourney was wasted. So there you go.
And he also said that he knows that it's in a poor place.
I would also challenge Mild Minute Comic Nerd a little bit. All film is subjective as far as how you feel about a film, but that does not change that the story as a whole was just not a well flushed out story.
Well, that's not necessarily true, because if to PLD again, subjective, it could be his. Look, his point. You and I don't agree with his point about the dynamic with the father. But if he and others took away that is a father-son dynamic, and that's what they think the story is, and that's the story that they told, and that's what hit, it is subjective that they think that's what the story is.
I don't debate that is a dynamic in the movie. I'll give him that all day, but that doesn't make a dynamic or a theme. It does not make a story.
I agree with your point. But what I'm saying is, if that was the story that PLD and Tim Sim and others took away for it, clearly whatever they wrote worked for them. So it is subjective. It is subjective to you and I agree with you. I'm on the same page. You're preaching to the choir, but it is subjective.
Yeah,
that's the thing. All right. So Yoshimitsu, the Hail Mary is powered by Astrophish farts. Yes, really, that was in response to Armada asking for Ming in Star Wars. It's true.
Hit me.
I think the funniest part is as he does
the lift.
Look, he looks over at you and goes, like
there's three of them. Look.
Sorry.
I'm surprised you don't just wear a mask at that point, bro.
It's bad. Jabkey, glad I could catch you guys today. Here's to the black man, because Mike is racist.
What the fuck?
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Hold on.
What?
Where, I can't even find it. Where is it?
Well, you know why, Roxy? Because I'm racist. That's why.
Does Shannon know?
Did your boyfriend do that to you to shut you the fuck up?
Sometimes I need
that 100% tracks. This bitch won't shut the fuck up.
And I gotta watch it.
There was, yeah, but I wasn't on the show. Go, pal. Children of Dune ends fairly weird. God Emperor is full weird. Heretics and Chapter House aren't necessarily as weird per se, but pretty esoteric. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting weird. I'm expecting it. Michael D. Rocky watched a crew die, could not fart. Ming said Ming will fart. Rocky fart. It's hilarious. Let's see that movie again. I really liked it. Man,
that's so good.
Penny Barber in Star Wars, 1 billion. Now that's a crater I would love to see.
Jesus. I'd like to Rhoda in her hut.
Don't need to get out of this cave. All right. Armada, PLD will hate the Star Wars movie if Roka's in it. That's true. If Roka got cast in a Star Wars movie, would you see it, PLD?
That's a great question. I would love to know the answer to that.
Yoshimitsu, Ming is the engine of the ship. He's not the pilot.
He said I would see it and cry.
Yeah, it's fair. All right, so right now we have one left. Ron H's gummies and Ming farts will prove this is from Armada. Will power the next Death Star in episode 10. The power of the Death Star will send JT and Snyder to take over planets.
Oh my god!
I mean, I'll be honest with you. And when it comes to the Schmodown Vault channel, I was even going through some of the stuff last night and looking and saying, "Oh, this will be fun to watch again." Did we get those emails set up, PLD? That's not good. I was hoping that would be great if we did no talk from Luke or anything, please. Nothing.
Uh-oh.
What is this now? Who? Kevin Smetch just sent. What did he send? Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, they're posting. Someone just posted my reaction to great to the freaking Batman v Superman thing on Twitter.
Oh,
so they're tagging Paramount on it to reboot the Snyderverse. Hilarious. Okay.
Oh,
It's like I just want to live my life, for God's sakes.
No, man, you in the center, baby.
I know. All right, listen, Winston, what's going on? Where can people?
You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms, and here on YouTube, I've got my reactions, commentary, comedy, all that kind of stuff on there. So don't miss all of that. On Tuesdays, I'm with Roka for Spill the Tequila. On Wednesdays, myself and Jay Washington, Blurs in the Hood, which we just launched our Patreon. Definitely go check that out. Patreon.com/Blurs in the Hood. Obviously here on Fridays. But then, yeah, follow me on social media, man, as I got other stuff popping off. And last but not least, everybody cross your fingers for me. I'm hoping for some really good news today. And it's my girl's birthday, so hopefully that'll be enough to push me over the edge.
Same. Look at this. Thanos pants. Who's ready for a Mando Grogu too? Peel just raised his hand. Yeah. Not me. Ron H. Cage working with racist, sex perverts, and assorted weirdos. What am I supporting? The best show on the internet. My strain thinks you guys are cool. I'm not sure. I see it. LOL. Yep. Ron H has single-handedly kept everybody in competition this week. Battery. Roka was in Star Wars. job in episode 6, Butttail. Oh man.
Nah, man. Roka looking svelte. Dude, Roka looking svelte right now. PLD sent that from his burner account, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe so. This is the last one for now. Haskell. Hi guys. My neighbor saw my Facebook post and pics I took at Talio. She said, great timing as she had an appointment in Garden City. She loved it and got me 3 slices. I saw your post, Ed. I wasn't sure because I was trying to find your initial post and I couldn't find it, but I guess you said it was on Facebook. I saw Ed briefly when I was, because Campia had his meet and greet and I went to say what's up beforehand and I saw Ed there and it was like I just went to Talio's and he looked like he just got a Christmas present. And I took my buddy James I guess it was the next time we went to the Met game and he was thinking about the pizza the whole night. He's like, that was the best pizza I've ever had. It's the best. So I highly recommend. And Ed, I hope you went in there and told him that I sent you, because I want people to, if you go into Tally's, you tell them that this show sent you. All right. I am Two Flight Cam. You like Iceman, Winston? Favorite YB song, Harloff? I don't know.
I like the production on Iceman, but not really. Iceman was kind of shitty. It's just Drake bitching for an entire album. So nah.
Fair enough.
The only Drake
that's YB
that we call Iceman is Bobby from the X-Men.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Speaking of X-Men, young Pyro, really good in 12 Monkeys.
Okay, all right.
I gotta get back to that. I'm going to try to watch some more episodes this week.
Nice,
dude. My schedule next week, it's busy, but it's awesome. So I've got He-Man on Monday, which I'll be seeing. It's Scary Movie on Wednesday, and then I got Disclosure Day on Thursday. So I got.
Damn, dude, I miss you being in the same city so I can piggyback to go to some of these. Jesus Christ,
those are some good ones. Some good ones. I'm excited for those. So PLT said Kristian, the 12 Monkeys show. It's true. That's definitely 100%. My brother's like, you got to interview them. I'm like, who's gonna? They're not doing anything. He's like the main scientist lives in Brooklyn. I was like, would we show up at our house? Say, hey, you want to do an interview? It's like my mother. Again, I always bring that up. You should, when you move to Los Angeles, you should get in touch with Sandra Bullock. You guys would get along. All right, I'll give her a shot. Ron H, have a great weekend, all. Stay cool. Aye. The best. Aye. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Winston. Thank you to PLD. Thank you to Luke. Thank you to Sam and MK for the time codes on this show. Thank you to everybody. Once again, I will let everybody know once we have the 2 vault channels up. It'll probably take a little bit because we're going to make everything private. So if you're Schmodown fans, you're like, why are all the matches private? Because we're going to start putting things on the vault. We're going to start putting things on the vault for the Schmoes channel also. So have patience. So if you see people in the Facebook group going, where are the matches? They're coming. They're all going to be coming. We're all going to put everything. We're going to take everything down, put everything back up. There's going to be different places to make sure you can all get it in one area. So thank you. I want you all to have a great weekend. Really appreciate you. Yoshimitsu, we're a couple episodes into Spider Noir. Loving it. Good. I got to check that out also this weekend. We'll check that out as well. You guys rule. 80 questions for Winston's pretty damn good. We'll see. I'll let people know on Monday who won. So we'll be back. Thanks again. Go check out the Batman v Superman reaction. Please and thank you. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Food tech? How many? You?
Yeah, I agree. 100%.